Jalen Ramsey's costly penalty during the Miami Dolphins' Week 5 win over the Patriots is stirring up some emotions. Honestly, what was he thinking? A small, silly shove to Jacoby Brissett's face, and now he's looking at a hefty $16,883 fine. That's a big hit for something that, at the moment, seemed so minor. I mean, Ramsey's tap on Brissett's head was barely noticeable, minimal contact at best. But because it was the quarterback's face, that's all it took to draw a flag. Seems excessive, doesn't it? It wasn't just Ramsey, though. Malik Washington, our rookie wide receiver, got tagged too. He got slapped with a $4,694 fine for a blindside block in the second quarter. Yeah, it resulted in a 15-yard penalty, but Washington's hit was at least more understandable. It's football, and those things happen fast. Yet, when you look at Ramsey's fine compared to Washington's, it makes you wonder about the NFL's priorities. Ramsey's fine is way steeper, almost quadruple the amount. Was that really necessary? It feels like Ramsey's punishment was more about sending a message than the actual play on the field. The NFL didn't stop there either. They handed out 29 fines in Week 5 alone. Ramsey's fine was tied for the third highest, which is pretty wild considering what we saw on the field. Meanwhile, New England's Keion White didn't escape punishment either. His two personal fouls in the third quarter cost him $9,800, a horse collar tackle and a roughing the passer penalty. It's good to see the league trying to keep things safe, but it just seems like they're swinging the hammer harder on some guys than others. Let's not forget, though, this isn't the first time the Dolphins have been on the wrong end of fines this season. In fact, it's starting to pile up. Look back at Week 1 against the Jaguars. Jordan Poyer was fined $11,200 for a face mask. Then there's Week 3, which really hurt. Alec Ingold got hit with $11,800 for a low block. Kader Kohou was docked $5,500 for another face mask, and Duke Riley? $16,900 for a blindside block, which sounds eerily familiar to Washington's situation in Week 5. This is all adding up, and it's affecting the team not just financially, but in their overall discipline on the field. Speaking of penalties, Miami's had their share of struggles this season. Penalties are becoming part of the Dolphins' identity, and that's not a good thing. Last season, the Dolphins were tied for the most penalties in the league, with 118 during Mike McDaniel's first year as head coach. They improved a bit last season with 105, but here we are again, 5 weeks into the season, and penalties are once again killing us. The Dolphins have already racked up 390 penalty yards, and with a third-string quarterback under center instead of Tua Tagovailoa, overcoming those mistakes becomes even harder. Terron Armstead, our left tackle, hit the nail on the head after the Patriots game. "No matter what the call is, we got to execute," he said. And he's right. We can't afford to let these penalties drag us down, especially when the offense is already struggling. We're averaging just 4.7 yards per play, which is far from where we need to be. But it's the pre-snap penalties that are killing us the most. The Dolphins have committed 21 pre-snap penalties, that's second in the league behind only the Cleveland Browns. False starts, illegal formations, illegal shifts, it's the little things that keep adding up and holding us back. Armstead talked about the nuances of the offense, and he's not wrong. When you have so much movement, so many personnel shifts, and different quarterbacks under center, it can get tricky. The cadence changes, the tempo is off, those little details matter, and they're biting us right now. It's a timing issue, a rhythm problem, and it's leading to mistakes that no one notices until the flag is thrown. Take a look at Julian Hill, our tight end. He's leading the team in penalties, with 7 already, and 4 of those came before the snap. Liam Eichenberg? 3 of his 4 penalties have been pre-snap too. It's becoming a pattern that's costing us, and it's something we need to clean up if we want to get the offense moving. But hey, there's a silver lining. Last week's game against the Patriots did show some improvement. We were flagged 6 times, which is still too many, but it's a step down from the season-high 11 penalties we had in Week 3 against Seattle. And we won the game. So, maybe we're trending in the right direction. The offense still has a long way to go, averaging just 12 points per game, dead last in the league, but at least we're seeing signs of life. Let's hope this is the start of a turnaround, both in discipline and on the scoreboard.